I'm really sorry that I can't be with you at the New Hampshire Veterans Home today in person, but I am really glad for this opportunity to join you virtually. And I just want to take a minute to acknowledge that it has been a long stretch since this pandemic descended on us, and it's kept us all separated. And I know that's particularly hard at the New Hampshire Veterans Home because you are also used to seeing your loved ones on a regular basis, being with each other on a regular basis. And I know the challenge that this isolation brings with it. I also know that there are terrific people who work at the New Hampshire Veterans Home, and they are doing everything they can to keep you safe and to lift your spirits and to make sure that when you can have visits from family outside and safely, that you have every opportunity to be with your loved ones that you possibly can. So thank you for having me virtually today. And again, thank you to all of the staff at the New Hampshire Veterans Home for everything you do to keep veterans safe and healthy, and remind them every day, as I hope this video will serve to remind them, that we value their service. This pandemic has challenged all of us here in New Hampshire and all across the country. But it is also a reminder that Americans, when challenged, come together, find a way forward, and demonstrate an unbreakable resilience. All of the veterans here right now engaged in this commemoration of 9/11 have been a part of that American fortitude and resilience. You've demonstrated it with your service to our country, and we are forever grateful to you, and grateful as well for the example that you've set. And that, of course, is one of the reasons that we are joining together virtually today to remember the tragedy and horror of 9/11, but to thank those who rushed into the flames, rushed into danger, and then fought against that danger moving forward. So on a day when we remember and honor the victims of 9/11, we also come together to thank the first responders and the everyday heroes who rushed towards that terrible scene to work to save lives. And then we remember, too, our troops who signed up and took it to our enemies abroad to keep our country safe from terrorism. We can never repay our servicemen and women and our veterans, but we do owe it to them to pause and to remember, to thank them and their families, and to take special care with remembering those we have lost and the Gold Star families they left behind. About a year ago, I joined with members of the Senate who are on the Homeland Security and Government Oversight Committee to go to the 9/11 Memorial in New York City, a memorial that sits on that hallowed ground, to remember the terror of that day, but more importantly, to remember the resolve of the American people as we responded to it, and to do the work that we need to do to ensure that our country continues to have the tools and resources it needs to support all Americans as we fight terrorism abroad, and if we need to fight it here at home. One of the things that was particularly touching to me on that day, now about a year ago in New York, was seeing the many mementos that the families of victims of 9/11 had brought to this memorial so that we'd gain a better understanding of their loved ones and to make sure their loved ones would always be remembered. But there are lots of mementos too there that tell us the story of that day, the people who rushed into danger to save lives and to protect and defend people they didn't even know. They just knew they were Americans. and they wanted to make sure that they did everything they could to keep them safe. It's the tradition that all of you have served to go forward into danger, to keep us safe, and to protect our freedom, and to protect freedom around the globe. So on this 9/11, let's take a moment to pause and remember everybody who came together and risked their lives to save others. Let's remember the victims and their families of that terrible day. And let's remember our active duty servicemen and women deployed around the globe and in harm's way right now, as well as all of our veterans and their families. And take a particular moment to mourn those who gave their lives for our country, to thank and support their families, and to resolve always to be together as Americans and stand for freedom. Be safe and be well, everybody.